Welcome to part 2 of the Turlo's Garage Race Car Resurrection. In part 1 we cleaned a lot of the junk out of the car and off the top of it. In part 2 we're going to pressure wash it, continue to clean the car out, and start to get into the starting system and see if we can get this thing to turn over and fire. It doesn't go well. It's in the trunk. This doesn't open up anymore. Yeah. All right. Oh, I think I got to secure the fuel filter. Just kind of float around. All right, this guy fits in here. I have to pull this out. I think I'm gonna put this on the Granada, this fuel filter. And I couldn't find the fittings I needed to adapt it to the fuel line on the Granada. So it's probably good. Probably best to just stay to the car. So we vacuumed out what we could, and then it was time to fire up the pressure washer and try to degrease as much as we could, blow a lot of the dirt, spider webs, and other junk off the car. Make the red paint really stand out, although the pressure washer really blew a lot of the red paint off the frame, and it certainly took a lot of the black paint off the body. It's a lot nicer to work on when it's clean, and it did look a lot better. We got a lot of the dirt and junk out of the inside. Got a lot of the mud blown off. My camera got very wet. So I think I've got a seat around here I can put in there. And the next thing's gonna be, I gotta find a freeze plug. I gotta put a freeze plug in there. Put a freeze plug in there. Gotta find the radiator cap. Or find the one that I can put on there. And then I gotta get it fired up pretty quick. I know there's a little small hole right there, so I know some water's probably got into the engine. So it'll be a good idea to crank this over and get the oil going so we can get that burned off before it rusts the inside of the engine. But it looks a lot better clean. I gotta find a battery to put in here too. This is set up for a side post type battery like what's in a Chevy. And I don't have anything that I can borrow a battery from. All right, so I found a seat. I had to go to the store and get a few items. There's a freeze plug, which should go in the core cleanout plug hole that's missing. I always pull this out and drain the water so the block doesn't crack in the wintertime. I had to get an adapter to go from a top post to a side post because I do not have a car with a side post battery anymore. So I should be able to stick this on a top post battery, probably pull the battery out of the Granada. And then of course I found, this is the cap I think that was on there. It does have a bit of a tear right here, but I think it'll be all right. So that should be all right. I'll plug all these in. I did check the oil, just for the heck of it. And the oil actually looks like new, which we changed the oil in this car quite a bit, so it should. That doesn't surprise me. But it's clear. And I would like to pull this air cleaner off, see how much water went down the carburetor and went into the engine. So as long as I get it started here pretty quick, we should be able to blow all the water out that got in there. All right, so probably a lot of you fellers out there know this trick, is you just find a socket. It's about the same size. I can flip it around. About the same size. It's actually a little bit smaller than the freeze plug. You can flip it around, stick this right on there, hammer that side in, and pound it right into place. And it's about probably 3/4 of the way in. I would normally push it in a little bit farther, and I'd probably use some sealant on it, but I got to drain the water again before winter, so it's coming back out again before too long. And so if you're working on a Ford 2.3 and you need a core cleanout plug or freeze plug, Dorman, that's a Dorman number, 555077. All right, now for the battery. So this was a system I came up with several years ago. This allows us to slide the battery left and right to change the weight bias. I haven't moved this. This was actually level, and then in the impact it flew down like that. I got to figure out how this. I think this goes like this has to go in like this.
I mean, I'm guessing
something
this is
like
the ground.
Oh man, I don't know if this is even gonna fit. Oh, okay, well. Oh, it should. This is the same battery tray that's in the Granada. All right, so that'll go in there. Yep. Let me open this up. Now, the question is, can I put this on here and not short everything out? That is gonna be tight. Oh, that is gonna be tight. You should be able to open this up a little bit. Where's the hammer at? So this was set up for a side post battery. It's actually set up for like an Optima or a dual post battery. So we'd have terminals in the front here.
You got it fitted?
Let's see, a little bit of little persuasion. Oh, beautiful. I don't think that's ever coming off again, probably. Then this guy here, in it already. This is the positive. Over here to this side. I am running out of daylight. This goes over here to this side and should just, oh, that is not good. Get that, oh man. I'm gonna need something. Can you give me a crescent wrench? And this is the ground. This should work here. Yep, oh, that's factory right there. Beautiful. Oh yeah, that will pretty much fit. Just snug it down. It doesn't have to be super tight.
How did you get this on?
That's good. That's plenty good. And then tighten this nut up here.
If you're taking that off, if you're tightening that nut, you're probably definitely not going to get it off now.
Me done. How do I? Where's half inch? There's a half-inch setting on this.
So you make it
Turn
yourself.
that down a little bit. Snug it down. That should be tight enough. This one here should be able to snug this. Oh, this was probably good enough. Well, it is getting dark. I don't know how much more time we're going to have out here. So we got power. I checked oil. The oil is okay. I'd imagine we're probably not going to have any fuel. We're probably going to have to crank it over for a little while. I think I got to turn this switch on. And oh man, one of these is the ignition switch.
Probably the button.
One of these, I think one of these is the light. Okay, that's the ignition switch. Ooh, and that is very loose. Well, I got something, and then I got nothing. Actually, I think, if I remember right, I should be able to hit this button and turn it over. Might have a problem with the solenoid. So this is a solenoid I heard clicking, and this is pretty rusted up and crusty looking here, and I don't even know if I can break this thing loose. Oh boy, that is rusted in place. And you can see the battery, the end of the cable here is pretty rusted up too, so there might be a bad connection there. So we're gonna bypass the solenoid here, and we're just gonna use this jumper cable and go, if we can, should be on, we'll turn the power on. Should be some sparkage or something. And I think there's too much rust on here. Well, I'm gonna have to clean off these terminals before we go too much further. I think that's part of the problem is all the rust is keeping the electronicals from working right. It also sounds like the solenoid might be getting stuck. All right, I got these off, and those do not look too good. Those are not too happy. Let me clean up all these terminals. I'm gonna lose that cable. Stay there, stay easy there, fella. Get some something to clean that with. Now, what are the odds of me taking the rust off of here without taking any skin off? Probably not gonna happen. Those are cleaned off. I don't know if this is gonna be cleaned off enough to do the job. All right, that's good. I had the power on. Nothing.
The switches aren't on.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's the power there. That should be giving power to the solenoid. Let's try hooking this. Can I hook it right to the battery without shorting out on something? Probably not. So I'm bypassing the whole battery system, just going from the battery straight to the cable that goes right to the starter, and all I get is sparks. That's an indication that there is some kind of problem or direct short in the system somewhere. So it looks like we'll have to dig a little bit deeper into diagnostics of the starting system. Any guesses? Bleep bloop it right down there in the comments down below.